Hey everybody, welcome back. It's Missy. Thanks for joining me again today. Today's layout is for the Cut Shop, and I'm going to be using this awesome background cut file called Very Squarey. And I use the 8.5 by 11 cut file version. There's also a 12 by 12. And I shrunk it down a little bit and went ahead and cut it on some white cardstock, and I made it to where it was in the center of the page. And I went through a lot of pattern papers trying to decide which one I wanted to go behind it because I didn't want to back each square individually. So I finally decided on this awesome, crazy, bright and busy paper from Finders Keepers from Amy Tan. And that's the collection that I want to use for this layout. And I know that paper is crazy. And I like the fact that there are triangles and sort of a chevron thing going on and so many bright colors. But it looks really cool behind the squares, I think. It just gives a crazy design look. And I know I keep saying crazy, but it is crazy. But I don't want it to be so bold and crazy. So I take the white gesso here and I'm just going to smudge it on with a card, and it's just going to mute some of those colors to where they're not so bright. And I like the way it looks a lot better. And the gesso also is going to allow me to come in with some gelatos and add some little bit of a watercolor effect here. So I'm going to use yellow, pink, and royal blue because this collection does have the royal blue in it. It's so pretty, and a lot of collections don't have that color in them that I can remember. So I like that that color's in here. And I do a lot of dabbing with the paper towel with the gelatos here because I didn't want them to be very bold either. I wanted them to be kind of muted to where you can still kind of see what's behind the color. And I love how that looks. I love all the different colors and how it just looks through the cut file. There's a little hand is going to steal my blue gelato. Watch this. Yep, there it went. That's my little swiper. She's always watching me, always by my side when I'm scrapping half the time, and she likes to play with my gelatos, and so I have to watch her closely or they will go missing. But luckily she didn't walk off with it. She actually put it back in the container, so I was proud of her. So I'm going to go ahead and adhere that down. I love how that looks. I love the pops of color, and I was very happy with how it turned out. So still using the Amy Tan collection, I use that little pineapple yellow cut apart piece, and I'm going to use it as a layer behind my picture. And I'm going to go through all these die cuts, and I'm sure many of you have this collection or you've seen it already, and there's a ton of stuff in there. And a lot of it, you know, is not going to make it onto this page, but I just wanted to use several things here and there and see what it looked like. And I really want to use that camera. It's just too big, I think. So I don't use it. But I am going to use that Today journaling spot as a layer. And I mainly pull out yellows, blues, and pinks. Now I love this clear sticker sheet, and I'm going to use that big flower bouquet. But since it is a clear sticker, you know, if you stick it on top of something that's already busy, you're not even going to be able to see it. And so I'm going to go ahead and stick it on some white cardstock and cut it out. And that's going to allow the color to stay true since it's against the white. And I'm going to be able to move it around. And I wanted to layer it on the photo just like that. And I didn't really want the red flower to show, and so that's why I layered it under the picture there. Now this is some blue striped washi tape that I've had in my stash, and it's from Michael's. I use the black and white stripe one all the time, but I was excited to get to use the royal blue one because, like I said, the royal blue is not really in a lot of collections lately. I think I said that. Maybe I didn't. But I love royal blue, and it's not a very common color, and so I was excited to see it in this collection. So it was perfect to pull out this washi tape. And I'm just going to rip it and tear it and line the edges of my design here with it. And I didn't want it to be perfect. I like the torn look to where it looks, you know, messy and random. And I'm going to keep bringing my picture and the layers over. I have not stuck any of that together, but I just want to keep making sure that it looks okay to how I like it before I staple it or glue it down. And that's just an Instagram picture. Way back when I first got Instagram of my daughter, I was trying to get her to smile and pose for me. And of course, she decided, no, I'm just going to plug my ears, close my eyes, and shy away from you. And it wound up being one of my favorite pictures anyway, because she just looks cute in it. And so I just had to scrapbook it. And I think it goes well with all of these colors, because all the colors in her shirt. So I decide that the layers look good like I have them there, and so I'm going to staple them down. And now I'm going to come in with gelatos again. Surprise, surprise. I'm really addicted to this water brush. I love that thing. I've been using it a lot lately. It's so easy. And you just put water in it and you barely squeeze it, and water comes out of the tip of it, and it just smudges so easy, and it's pretty quick too. And I got this new one. I have one that I've had for a long time, but it's the hole to put the water in is really small, and it takes forever to get water to go through it. And so I just got this one a few weeks ago at Michael's, and it was pretty cheap, but I really like it. So I'm using the pink gelato here now, and I'm just going to do some smudging here over by the picture to make it look like there's some pink watercolor coming out of the top and the bottom there. And you know, with gelatos, it does not take a lot. You do a little smudge and a little bit of water, and it goes a long way. And it depends on how much paper you want to cover also. I mean, I'm just doing little spots here, so it definitely didn't take that much. And I wanted it to be subtle and not, overly done. So I popped up the photo, and also I popped up the flowers, because I went ahead and glued those together so they kind of move as one unit there. I'm not going to make you watch me do pop dots. I don't like watching me do pop dots when I'm editing this, so that's why I'm like, okay, let's cut that out. That's boring. And sometimes I have to edit out my thread because it takes me forever to get it to look like I didn't do anything to it. But I do add some royal blue thread on both sides there. And then I'm going to just go through some more of the stickers here. And there's a lot of random little shapes in this collection. And these are just little pink crosshatches or crisscrosses or random lines, whatever you want to call them. And I just like the extra pop of pink over there on the left. I am going to use this pink arrow. And the puffy sticker camera worked out much better than that big die cut one. And so I am going to use that. And I did do some stitching off camera. I did yellow stitching around the edges. I know it's hard to see here. And then I did some pink stitching on the left. And that instantly gave me another pop of pink on the left, and I didn't even have to use an embellishment. So that's one reason I love machine stitching or hand stitching, because it can create, it's kind of like its own embellishment. It just gives some interest to the area that you stitched in, and it's whatever color thread you have, it's just going to give it an extra little pop of color. Now these are from the Dear Lizzie documentary collection, but I've been wanting to use them for a while, and so I'm going to make my title Love You Forever. And I know that's not very original, but most of my scrapbook pages are of my daughters just doing random things on random days, and they're not huge events. And so I like my titles to just kind of reflect things that I may say to them in everyday moments. And so sometimes they seem boring, but to me I like them because they're just random everyday things. Well, not random, but things that I would say to my daughters, in these moments while they're just playing or while we're goofing off or just being outside together. I would say that to her. And so I thought, yeah, that's going to be my title. And plus I had this cute little flare button that says Forever and Ever. And so it kind of went with it. Now, these tall teal thickers didn't really stand out as much as I wanted them to, and so I do take my black pen and trace over them so they do stand out a little more. And they didn't want to stick that well just because of the gesso and the mixed media, and so I did glue them down. And I added an Evilicious circle arrow paper clip there on the left of the photo. I guess I did that when the camera was off. And I just do a little bit of journaling, one line of it here at the bottom. And I do add a couple things after I turn off the camera. I did a little bit of rub-ons, just little black, they're little black diamonds. I believe they come in this collection. They're in the Amy Tan rub-on sheet. And I cut them apart and scattered them across the page after I did the black color shine here, just to give some more pops of black, since my title was black and there's a little bit of black in those pictures, or not pictures, flowers. I keep saying the wrong thing today. What's my deal? Added a little bit of stamping also. And so that's the final image. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I had a really fun time putting this together. Make sure you check out the Cut Shop. There are lots of fun new files in there, lots of new Halloween files, and just a lot of fun background images also. So let me know if you have any questions. Thank you so much to all my subscribers. I'm so glad you guys tuned in today. See you next time.